Learn web design. So web design is very, very important because if you take a look at how the world is going now, we have the internet and you are able now to communicate with almost anyone, anywhere in the world because of the internet. Now imagine this. If you have a website and let's say you have a message to convey or you have a product to sell, you can actually do this through your website. Now, if you take a look at what I'm doing on Divi University, I have people that have signed up for the course from all over the world. Now, this is why it's important for you to learn how to design a website. So let's take a look at how you can get started. So first of all, we want to take a look at ways of building a website. So when I started off, I did it the hard way. I did HTML and CSS. But of course, the time I started doing this was a very long time ago. So things like WordPress and Drupal were not really there and they were not like fully developed. But now we have the opportunity to build websites fast. Now, before I continue, let's just go back to HTML and CSS. Although it's a very good skill to have, the problem is if you were to start designing websites using HTML and CSS today, you'll find that it will take you quite a bit of time to achieve a fully developed website. So time here is a factor. And also, if you take a look at the features that you would like to add to your website, for example, let's say you've designed your HTML and CSS website and you want to turn that website into a membership website or a directory, you'll find that it's quite difficult. You need now programmers to come in and help you with that kind of work. So if it's a project that you're working on and it's something that you want to do, it's going to take you a very, very long time to achieve that by hand coding it. And this is why I'm gravitating towards WordPress. Now, WordPress is really, really powerful. Before, it started offline as a blogging platform, but now it is so powerful that 3/4 of the internet now, I think, is running on a WordPress. Now, this is exciting news, and also there's a lot of resources out there that you can use to build your websites using WordPress. Now, before I go into WordPress, I'd also like to mention that I have a free course that teaches you how to design websites using WordPress. It's called WordPress Mastery. So I'll leave the link in the show notes below. You can go ahead and enroll on that course. It's 100% free, no strings attached. So this is me trying to help you or anyone that wants to learn web design to get off on a very good foundation. Okay, great. So let's talk about WordPress. So first of all, the beauty of WordPress is you actually own your content. Now, if you compare to, let's say, companies like Weebly or Squarespace, everything that you are putting on your website is actually on their platform, and they have all the power to run everything off of their website. So what I mean by that is, let's say you decide to move your website to a different platform because maybe you're not happy with, let's say, Squarespace or Weebly. What will happen is you can't leave with a design. You only leave with your content, and even the content won't be compatible with other content management systems. So this is what I mean by they own their platform. That's not your platform. So these are, or in fact for me, this is one of the main important thing that I'll use WordPress instead, because WordPress is open source and you purely own everything. All right, so now with that out of the way, the other reason why WordPress is really powerful is because it has plugins. So there's hundreds of thousands of plugins, and as I mentioned in the beginning, these plugins allow you to add more functionality to your website. So look at them like apps. So when you buy your phone, whether it's an Android or iPhone, you can also add apps that will enable your phone to be even more functional. Like, for example, you can add a GPS onto your phone, and that is something that will make your phone even much better. Now, when we take a look at WordPress, it's the same thing. There are plugins that turn your website into a directory website or a membership website or even a learning management system. And this is really, really important because it's very, very powerful. Now, there's some things that are quite confusing with WordPress. Now, WordPress, the way you need to look at it is look at it as a foundation. Okay, so this is like the starting point of your design. Although you can design websites using WordPress itself, it lacks design capabilities. So it's pretty much, like your foundation. If you just want to, put out there a website which is pretty much basic, doesn't have a lot going on, yeah, you can get on with that. But if you want to design your website, make it look, different with all the colors, and videos, and all this good stuff, then you need a page builder, right? So there's quite a few out there. There's Beaver Builder, there's Divi, there's Elementor, there's Breezy. So this is where now, this is the second level. So this is where, like I mentioned, WordPress is the foundation. So these page builders now are a step on top of the foundation. Now, before I go into page builders, I also like to mention that you can also achieve great designs using WordPress templates. And there's a resource out there called Theme Forest. They have quite a lot of templates. But if you want something consistent where you build yourself from scratch and you actually rule how everything is going to look, then page builders are the way, because templates also give you like a structured layout, which you can basically replace content without actually going in and readjusting, the way that template was designed. So that's a case where, again, you'd need a programmer to go in and move, sections of content around. So the page builder is a solution to that. You can just go in and start, crafting your website the way you want it. So this is why page builders are important. Right. So as I mentioned, there's quite a few page builders out there. There's Elementor, there's Beaver Builder, Breezy, Divi, and so on. So here's the thing now. Once you have your page builder, this now gives you the power to design the type of website you like or the type of layouts that you like. And this is now making that web design process much, much easier. Now, if you take a look at how I started using HTML and CSS, and in fact, I forgot to mention, I also used Dreamweaver, which was from a company called, I think it was Dreamweaver MX that I used. And at that time, it wasn't bought by Adobe, but now it's part of Adobe. I just forgot the company now. Right, so even that in itself, it made it easier to design websites, but not as good as as how page builders do it now. Okay, so now that I've spoken about the page builders, now the next step now is, now that you have that knowledge of WordPress and page builders, what you need now is a solid web hosting platform. And I can't emphasize this more, because this is where I had a massive problem with the company that I used initially for my hosting. So this company spent a lot of money, obviously, on advertising. So they were everywhere on the internet. But in terms of their support and their service, it wasn't as good, because when I was hosting my websites, I was doing this through my design agency, and I had over 100 websites that I was hosting. So every time I had a problem, I would have to go through support. I mean, like I would do, today anyway, but the support wasn't very good, right? And even when you had security issues, they were not very good at supporting you with that. So you can imagine if you have websites that you're taking care of quite a lot of clients, and things go wrong, it's like a single point of things going wrong, and you would have to replicate all your changes throughout all those websites. And worse off, if the if the server goes down, then you're even in big trouble, because everyone's website now is not accessible. So this is where it's very, very important for you to choose a web hosting company that is both solid, which means uptime is high. Secondly, reliable. And also when it comes to support, you need great support. So the company that I recommend for that is InMotion Hosting. And they are really, really good, because their support team is well versed with WordPress, so they can help you with all of that, which is fantastic, because a lot of you that are starting off, you may not know the ins and outs of WordPress, so you can actually go through the support system, and these guys can help you with any problem that you're having. Secondly, when it comes to hosting, the technology is also very important. So InMotion Hosting, they're good because they are also moving on with the technology. And I'll mention two areas. Having SSL on your website is very important, and they supply this free with your hosting package. and also SSD, and these are like the solid state drives. They're also fast, and they also have these in their within the company. So these things are very, very important. So if you like to sign up for the hosting, I have a link which will give you 57% off. And also, if you sign up using InMotion Hosting, I will give you access to my Divi Blueprint course, and also full access to Divi University. So all the courses that are there, you will have full access to those, and also future ones. All you have to do is to send me evidence, or let's say proof of purchase, via email, and I'll also add my email in the comments box, and that's it. You'll get full access to that. Right. Okay, so moving on, I spoke about the page builder, the hosting. Now, when it comes to the page builder, all page builders out there have a learning curve. And this is very, very important, because sometimes when you jump into, let's say, whatever page builder it is, it may seem like it's very, very difficult to use. And this applies to any type of software. There's a learning curve. So what I've done is I've made things easier, because I endorse Divi, because I believe that Divi is, the best page builder out there in terms of what it has to offer, the support, and also the graphic design tools that it has, which will help you design awesome looking websites. So with Divi now, of course, if you were to just install it and start using it, it can be overwhelming. So what I've done as well, I've put together a Divi mini course, which will just get you up and running. This course is absolutely free as well. I'll leave the link in the comments box, so you can go ahead and start learning Divi. So this is an absolutely free web design course. So all that information is in the comments box below. So as I was mentioning in the beginning, having a website is really, really powerful, because this is your voice, right? You can have maybe a blog where you can, voice your opinions. It can be a blog where you're teaching, as I'm doing on my own website. Most of my tutorials are just teaching web design. So this is a very, very powerful tool. Also, to entrepreneurs, you can sell your products on your website. You can also do affiliate marketing. You can grow your mailing list, increase your leads, and all these things that I'm talking about are done using the website. Now, just to give you a bit of perspective, if you look at how many people now have smartphones, I mean, it's a lot of people, and all these people have access to the internet. So if you combine social media and your website, and your marketing is right, this is a great opportunity of achieving success in whatever area it is, whether it's training, whether it's entrepreneurship, selling a product. I mean, if you combine those two, it can be really, really powerful. But my advice is, have WordPress as your main platform, because you want to own everything, even with SEO. Let the SEO happen on your own website, not on a website that doesn't belong to you, which you don't have intellectual property. So if, let's say, you're not happy with InMotion Hosting and you want to move to a different web hosting company, guess what? All you have to do is to pack your bags and go to a different hosting company, because all your data is intact, everything is together, because it belongs to you. And this is why, in my opinion, learning WordPress is very, very important. And like I said in the beginning, I have a free WordPress mastery course, link in the show notes below. And when it comes to hosting, I also have a 57% discount on hosting. Again, link in the description below. And if you really want to take your design skills to the next level, Divi is, in my opinion, the best page builder out there. In fact, you know what? If you buy a single license, you can design as many websites as you want, whether personal or commercial. So this is the power of what Divi is providing there. And if you take on the, what is it called again? The lifetime package, that means that you'll have indefinite updates forever, basically. So with $249, that's it. And you know what? It may seem like a lot of money initially, which is what I thought as well. But if you think about it, $249, let's say you spent let's say 3 weeks or a month learning how to use Divi, you can actually design a website for that amount and you've got your money back. So that's how I look at it. But anyway, guys, I don't want to make this video too long. All I'm saying is, learn web design and WordPress specifically. And this is fantastic because there are so many ways you can use your website, whether be it promote yourself, promote your skills, sell products, or even start a business. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.